Hello, everybody, and welcome. I'm back to the latest episode of Squared Triangle. I'm back.
Welcome back, Deca.
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I don't remember what happened. It was last week. That's old news already.
Yeah.
That's kind of how the wrestling world works. As soon as you think you've got all, it's the Roddy Piper quote. As soon as you think you've got all the answers, you change the questions and move on and just move forward.
Yeah,
We do here.
Yeah, but we are going to be talking about Survivor Series today. I think X had a really good way of putting it before we started recording. Called it the what did you call it? The filler sandwich.
Yes, I called it a filler sandwich.
it
with
is
mayo.
two
mayo.
filling slices of bread with some stuff between them.
I would say if we're looking at the sandwiches, like let's say 5 parts, right? We've got the bread of the War Games matches. We've got the meat of Gunther Miz. We've got a piece of tomato, and we've got a little bacon, and that's our sandwich.
Yeah,
It was Subway meat.
The tomato of like Dragon Lee, Santos Escobar, and the little bacon strip of Rhea Ripley versus Zoe Stark. And then we got the other bread piece of the other War Games match. And then we got like a little, for some reason we have the little fork that they put in at the Chili's on the top of the burger. But
I can't
we'll get
remember
into all of that.
I can't remember. Is this Survivor Series is one of their like top 4, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it's one of the big. It's the last of the big 4 pay-per-views.
That just
It
makes
is,
a lot
yeah.
of these matches like just more confusing to have on this card, I guess. Like some of these singles matches for a bigger event that they consider.
What they used to do with this, instead of doing the War Games matches,
Was the brand supremacy.
they used to do the Survivor Series style matches where like it's the elimination tags, but they like these better.
I mean, they're a funner match. It's a funner match to watch.
They're a more fun match. I would have liked them to slap in one. I think they could have done one traditional Survivor Series match.
Yeah.
But that's okay. I liked the offerings that we were giving. At least the War Games matches were fun. And we start off with the women's War Games match, which was Damage Control, which is currently Bayley, Asuka, Io Sky, and Kairi Sane, versus Bianca Belair, Charlotte Flair, Shotzi, and Becky Lynch.
Yeah, I mean, and this was a pretty fun match. We'll get to it. Like, just Io Sky stole the show in this match, really.
Absolutely, jumping off in the trash can.
Well, it's also that it's just
That was some Lucha Underground shit.
Like some of the storylines going in here, it's very similar to the men's War Game match, where everybody here has had a problem with Damage Control. Much like everybody in the men's one had a problem with Judgment Day.
Mm-hmm.
And we have Shotzi on the team, which took me by surprise because I thought she was only on the team to take the pinfall. And I think we were talking in the Discord with
Shotzi
that assumption.
Did really well in this match, I think.
She took that, like, it's either like an oversized trash can lid or like a walk. I don't know what it was. But it's like
it was an oversized trash can lid, because I think that's the one that Kyrie bought in.
Yeah, when Kyrie swung that, it didn't hit her flat. It kept hitting her like on the edge of the fucking lid.
And I think she got busted open.
And yeah, she was like bleeding out like the side of her head at the end of the match. I mean, yeah, this was an all right match. It didn't get like too crazy. I would say like there was the one EO spot, but a lot of it was I guess kept pretty safe during this match.
There's a lot of will they, won't they between Charlotte and Becky Lynch.
And my friend that I was watching it with, the moment they hugged, he was like, I feel like that kind of took the match down a little bit. Like, we don't need that.
They totally had a best friends moment. So gotta give the people what they want.
Yeah.
No, giving people what they want is Damage Control winning.
Yeah.
And not Bayley being.
I don't know. This is one of the big 4. So like, heels very rarely go over in a big 4 pay-per-view.
Well, the way that I say it is like you have a new Damage Control, new members, you have a hot return in Kyrie, you have a new addition in Asuka, you have an incredibly popular women's champion, and you're still having them lose. Like,
yeah.
Because I really do believe that's a plot device for something that's going to occur in the near future, though. So
I
They're
fully
also,
believe
like,
I fully believe
hella
Bailey's getting
teasing
kicked
the-
out. Like,
so
Yeah.
no doubt about it. I really do think that I think at this point everybody sees that one of these members is getting booted, being Bailey and all, and I think that was a plot device to set that up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we'll find out in the next couple of weeks if that is true. But beyond that, I don't know. I didn't have a problem with how that match ended.
no, it was a pretty fun match. I think it's went 30 minutes, but like aside from like the EO spot and the Kyrie like hitting people with the trash can lid, like you had your normal stuff like the kendo sticks. There was a moment I think
Becky missed a couple of those on I think it was Bailey. And she was trying to climb the cage.
It seemed like
Did
they were
y'all-
trying to
there was
set
the-
up. What's up?
There was a spot where they chained up Becky and Bianca Belair, and you just get this really good reaction image from Bianca Belair. She's like,
Yeah, and then I think they hit them with what back-to-back running
drop
knees
kicks.
or drop kicks.
They did drop kicks. Yeah.
There were several moments in this match I feel like they were setting up for spots, but somebody wasn't in position to actually execute them. Like there were some really weird moments. Like I can't remember, but I think like somebody was on the corner and they were wrapping her in a chain, but it never went anywhere.
Mhm.
Like Kyrie was trying to wrap up somebody.
And apparently Shotzi, went to, like you said, went to the school of John Cena's spot calling.
Shotzi was calling this match like
Shotzi was calling spots, and they caught her on camera doing it
so many times. I'm like, Jesus Christ.
Look, at least with the War Games match, there's like 9 other cats you have to wrangle. I don't know what John Cena's excuse is.
No, this was when there were 4 women in the cage. Like
that is 2 more people that John Cena has to deal with.
I'm just like, Shotzi, listen, what the fuck?
I don't mind this. It's just a quirk to me, and it's funny. Okay,
yeah, it's funny as hell.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If this was like the 90s and they caught them doing that'd be one thing. But this is, we all been new.
Yeah. Yeah, and we have, I think one of the cooler spots was before the trash can, like crossbody, is her using the chain to pull it up to her from the outside. That was a really cool spot.
I thought that was really cool, the pulley system.
That's the first time I've ever seen a pulley system in a match.
And like it gave Dakota Kai something to do while she was outside the cage.
If you think about it, every time they hang someone in like a bull rope match, that's also the pulley system.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody gets. There was like 2 missed attempts. I think one hit Shotzi earlier, and then they went for a second, or they hit I think Bianca the first one, and then they went for Shotzi, but she missed and got hit with the spray from the fire extinguisher. And that kind of led to what you said, a nasty looking manhandle slam from the top rope.
Yeah, that looked rough. Yeah. And then they replayed it, and I was like, oh, that looks rough.
I'm just like, Becky's not even like holding her as they fall off this top turnbuckle. But yeah, Bailey takes the slam, takes the pin, and this is probably going to lead to a Bailey getting kicked out. So that was fun.
Also to add one thing, Charlotte did have a moonsault in this match where she absolutely kneed EO in the head.
No, EO literally has scars on her head.
Yeah. I remember that moonsault, and like the knee came right down on top of EO's head, and she's laying on the ground just like this afterwards, like just trying to hold, like just trying not to sell. Like, I just got fucking kneed in the face. Like,
yeah, you gotta let loose on that rotation. You can't rotate so goddamn hard on that. Like, I'm saying that. I know I'm saying that as like a non-performer, but like, I've seen what a good moonsault looks like. I can tell you what a good moonsault looks like.
Yeah.
That's not it.
So,
in the scrum, she was like, I had to get a moonsault in. I'm like, no, bitch, you didn't.
You did not. You actually did not need to be in this match. Like, we could have had any other woman. Like,
but I think because with the knowledge that Shotzi was calling this match, like, on the fly, I think that bumps Shotzi up a few notches in my opinion.
Yeah, because she did a pretty good job of actually directing traffic in some of those spots. I appreciate it.
And like I said, that's 9 other cats you have to wrangle, including yourself.
Yeah.
So,
I
it's like being a player coach.
I am
So, like I said, I
appreciating
didn't mind it one bit.
Kyrie's like look now. Like she just has like a great look for a wrestler.
Mhm.
But yeah, everybody showed up here. Everybody did their stuff. Personally, I feel like Damage Control probably would have been better with this win. The girls on the other team can take a pinfall and not lose any credibility. And you know, you have your team with your champion losing, so it's just
That's true.
I just feel
But
like
she didn't eat the pin, so
like Shotzi could have easily eaten the pin and nobody would have lost any like credibility. It's just one of those, I feel like maybe it was a misbook, but I don't know.
I don't know if it was a misbook, but I think I could see either way of this match going. That's kind of the thing about these matches is that it could really go either way and nothing really changes. Like the next week they could still like theoretically kick Bailey out of Damage Control, for example.
But I think that, but like I said, I think that pinfall was a part of a larger narrative. You know, they're trying to paint Bailey as the weak link of the group,
Yeah.
the newly formed Damage Control. So I don't know. We'll just have to see where it goes from there.
Yeah. Between this match and the next match, we have a little backstage segment of everybody eating the Ruffle sponsored Ruffle pay-per-view Ruffle chips, and
Ruffle.
And R-Truth is back after a year out.
We got R-Truth back.
I actually got a pop for R-Truth. I love R-Truth.
I love R-Truth, man.
It was good.
Yeah, so and then Tozawa ends the commercial doing the Ruffle Shuffle, which I appreciate. I love Akira Tozawa as like this comedy role.
Tozawa, that's nasty.
That's nasty.
That's nasty.
Moving into the first of two title matches, which is weird. We only have the Intercontinental and the women's title because all your other champions are involved in War Games matches right now. So because your top title is still not coming into work. So
between these title matches, between the title matches and the War Games matches, this is actually like a really solid match for me.
It is
The Miz versus Gunther.
It is, but just given Gunther's record, I feel like this match went for 7 minutes longer than it had to. Like,
well,
I understand Miz as the experienced like veteran, but you've been showing Gunther just being so dominant, and Miz loses every one of his feuds. Gunther should have just destroyed him.
Yeah, it just seems to me like they gave Miz a lot more offense than I was expecting.
Yes.
Okay, I thought that was interesting. You know,
The Miz is the latest Grand Slam champion, so they had to.
Yeah. And on top of that, I think, but on the other end, I think we really kind of need to give Miz his credit, you know, for what it is.
I think The Miz did really well.
I think Miz is a lot better talent than most people give him credit for.
I think a lot of people see that like, oh, he was in the real world and whatever, but like he's been in wrestling longer than he was on reality shows at this point.
He's a master of the craft at this point. I mean, you could tell in this match. I mean, he was getting aggressive. He was using all the tricks against Gunther. Gunther did a really good job of selling for him. I mean, this was just an excellent match. You know?
I also think you have to give Gunther challenges, or it doesn't feel like you know anyone can beat him. And while there's something to be said about having an unbeatable champion, I think there's a better story, especially with heel wrestlers, where it's like up. You almost got him.
Like the closest we've had to Gunther losing his title is Chad Gable, and it's like ever since then it's just like he's looked dominant again. And I'm like, are you gonna run back Chad Gable, or are you just gonna wait for somebody to arrive in your company that can be like, this is legitimate? Because I think even like Bronson Reed has gone up against him, and he's being Bronson.
Think you run back Chad Gable. You have to run back Chad Gable.
Like the only person to make Gunther like look vulnerable aside from Drew and Sheamus in any recent memory is Chad Gable. And I was like, that
out loss.
I'm like, that is the opportunity.
Also,
you missed the opportunity.
Yeah, and on top of that, I don't think you wait for Ilya Dragunov to get to the main roster to run that back again.
I feel like that's what they're doing.
Chad Gable, which I kind of feel that way too, but I don't want to put that feeling out there because I'm not sure if they're gonna actually do that or not.
I'm just like, oh, just don't do this thing with all your titles now, where all of them have like 1.5, 2-year reigns. Like even I know AEW's title reigns are long, but even they know when to pull the trigger.
Yeah.
Don't say that. They're not long. The only one that's long right now is MJF.
My definite
but
choice.
all of the
would be tag
all the
gang.
world champions, with the exception of the whole like Punk scenario, everybody's been world champion for about a year.
Yeah.
So
MJF and Kenny Omega.
I mean, everybody else was still like 10 months or so. Like it's still almost. They don't make it a few.
I mean, Seth Rollins has been champion since Night of Champions back in May, so he's hitting about the 6-month mark now.
Yeah, and now we're getting him and Drew McIntyre running it back.
Mm-hmm.
But apparently, we're getting him and Jay for the next match for the world title. So, but a very interesting thing that I saw during this Gunther match. Gunther has a very specific pin when he's about to win a match. He'll hit the power bomb and he'll do like the mounting, like pinning the shoulders down, like keeping the legs up. Like he just transitioned from the power bomb to the pin, and he did that, and I was like, oh, match is over. And then Miz kicked out, and I was like, okay, I don't know if that was like something that the fans were supposed to notice or not, or if it's just something that is like, oh, I power bombed him, I'll just go for a pin attempt.
Might be a cue for the ref.
Yeah, because I'm like, that's his like trademark pin. It's like Rhea Ripley when she pins an opponent like that, she's going to win the match. Like,
yeah,
any other pin that Rhea does is always a kick out, but when she pins that pin, that's when you know the match is over. Like,
the iconic,
which makes it all the more special. It's setting up that expectation for the fans too of when we pick up on it, and then when they do kick out of it, it's like, oh shit.
Yeah. So like, yeah, it's just who's next for Gunther at this point? I think is Gunther most of the workhorse roster.
I think Chad runs it back, but if I don't know if you guys saw Raw, but the Miz came by and was like, hey, I think I can beat you. I think I can beat you if you give me another chance. And then Gunther was like, look, I was wrong about you. You belong in the ring, just not with me. And he walked off, and that was the coldest thing anyone's ever said.
Yeah. I mean, it probably like a nothing segment, because I'm looking at Wikipedia to recall like the matches, the order of matches and all that, and they always have like an aftermath section of like, here's what happened on the Raw directly after this pay-per-view. Miz and Gunther are not even mentioned in this paragraph. Like,
damn,
it's every other major storyline, but nothing for Miz and Gunther. So
I still think they'll run it back.
Yeah.
Wikipedia is allowed to be wrong sometimes.
I also found Gunther winning this match with a lion tamer interesting.
He was pulling out a lot of Jericho moves.
Yeah. And the ironic part is that Jericho was the 9-time Intercontinental Champion. If The Miz won this match, he would tie Jericho's record. So Gunther beating The Miz with Jericho's move is kind of a nice little quirk.
Yeah, it's a nice little touch.
Yeah.
Yeah, so 12 minutes for Gunther and Miz.
That was good enough. That was considering what everything else was, I think that was a good time.
We're 1/3 through 1/3 of the show with that time length.
Match pay-per-view, so
we get
it was what it was.
Yeah, the next match we get an interesting thing, but I think before that, between these matches, we're having these little cutaways to Team Cody saying, hey, Randy's not here yet. The first time that happened, I instantly messaged Xavier. I'm like, it's going to be fucking CM Punk, isn't it? Like, I was like, Randy's not going to show up. CM Punk's going to be the fifth fucking man. And it's just going to be, that's how this is going to go. And then, like,
it's good because WWE has a way of telegraphing some of that stuff sometimes.
And then as the night went on, just more and more, I haven't seen Randy. And I'm just like, oh God, they're actually fucking doing it. Like, it was just a feeling of just like, God damn it, it is going to be CM Punk. They actually got him back. And it hits us with a 1-2 punch later in the night because Randy does come back. And then we get CM Punk as we get the little like going off the air logo, which is the last time WWE has done something like that was when Ciampa turned on Gargano. That was the last time.
Triple H trademark.
Yeah, it's the end of that takeover. You see the copyright WWE so and so, and then it goes away, and Ciampa starts beating the shit out of Gargano.
He just rifles him into the LED wall. I'm like, damn. And
they did the same thing here. It's like it's fading out, copyright, and then both the personalities,
The
guitar
music.
riffs, and I was just like, they fucking did it. He's back. Like, and then I instantly texted you guys in Discord. I was like, I have no idea where he fits into these storylines, if he even does. Like,
We'll get to that. I got a theory about that, and we'll get to that later.
yeah. Our next match is just kind of more of a showcase match, which I didn't mind, but I feel like maybe I don't know, maybe there was another match with the roster that could have gone here. But I mean, this is the kind of the storyline with Ray and them right now. This is like their match for the show.
Yeah, but Rey Mysterio is also injured right now, so this is the blow-off match for the Rey Mysterio feud, just featuring Dragon Lee.
Yeah, we
also,
have.
I really do think Triple H is trying his best to feature more talents from Japan and Mexico. So this was kind of like the perfect showcase match to kind of get the crowd introduced to them.
Yeah,
Yeah.
also had the Japanese wrestlers with damage control earlier.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we have Santos Escobar versus Dragon Lee. I think this is Dragon Lee's second TV or like main roster appearance.
Mm-hmm.
I believe so. Yeah.
God, I wish they had more time. I really do.
I think so too.
7 minutes.
They could have done with another I think they could have done with another 2 minutes minimum.
7 minutes was not enough for this match for me.
If it had gone like 12, 15 minutes, they probably would have cooked a lot harder. But for what we got, I thought it was pretty decent.
Yeah, and this is the kind of match where it's like, hey, we're here to make Santos look strong because we're building him back into a heel. Dragon Lee is still technically in NXT, so he can take the fall, but he'll make Santos look strong.
Actually, he's been moved to the main roster now.
Oh, nice.
He's on the main roster.
Main roster talent.
So it's like, cool.
SmackDown superstar.
All right, so we can take Dragon Lee and we can make Santos Escobar look strong. So we'll do that. And yeah, this was just lucha. I loved it.
It was good. It was a very lucha style match.
If you watched any triple leg, you see the similarities.
Yeah, not a lot going on in the match itself, though. Like there is some good back and forth. And Hurricane Rana into a Phantom Driver for the win. A little bit of heel work, Lee's leg gets stuck. He kicks the steps into it. But yeah, just a fun little 7-minute lucha match. I was like, God, I wish they had more time. I would have loved watching these guys go for like 12, 13 minutes,
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm excited to see Dragon Lee on the main roster more. I feel like this is the guy that they wanted Sin Cara to be.
Yeah.
Oh, it absolutely is.
They've been for years looking for the next successor to Ray. They tried Alberto Del Rio, Sin Cara, I don't know who the hell else, or Samurai Del Sol. I think they might have hit it finally with Dragon Lee because Dragon Lee, he's wrestled all over the world. He's good on the mic.
Say that with all the other ones. Okay, he's good on the mic. Never mind, we got there.
Yeah, he's good on the mic, unlike all the other ones. And he's just he's just a presence. He reminds me a little bit of Ultimo Dragon.
A little bit, yeah.
A little bit.
I could see that.
So, I don't know. He gives me some of those vibes, and I think they're gonna position him to be the next big, Mexican baby face after Ray, which would be a welcome addition.
Oh, definitely. So I'm excited to see where he goes, over the next few years. Santos is going to be a great heel. Kind of wish he still had his faction behind him, like in NXT, but if he's doing it solo,
as a solo star, yeah.
Yeah, I think they're gonna get around. I think they're gonna get around to that because I don't think they're gonna leave Santos Escobar entirely by himself. They're gonna build a new Legado del Fantasma, and for what I've been reading, I read somewhere online earlier today that it might be Angel Garza and Humberto Carrillo joining him, which would be fantastic.
That'd be interesting.
Yeah,
because
what are they doing?
They're in NXT.
They're in NXT right now. They're not doing the whole Latin lover thing anymore, though.
Thank God. Dude, we were at that house show. Me and you, X, were those guys. That like Titantron started for them, and I was like, "Who the fuck are these guys?" And they came out, and I was like, "What the fuck is Angel Garza doing? Like in this fucking team? Where the fuck has he been? Like,
what the fuck are they doing?"
I was like, "What the hell is this tag team?"
They're not doing that anymore because now they got like the they got like the little scratch marks and stuff in their chest, like the American Wolves had.
Oh God.
Eddie Edwards and Davey Richards.
Yeah,
Boo! Stealing
Boo.
someone's gimmick. Boo!
Boo this man. Boo. On to the next match. We have Rhea Ripley taking on Zoe Stark for the women's title. And I don't know how to feel about this match because it didn't feel like it was 9 minutes, but like I don't really remember a lot of it.
And yet,
Neither do I.
I'm just like,
Here's the thing with Rhea Ripley matches. I love Rhea Ripley to death. She is a fun personality. Okay, she knows her audience. She knows what she is doing half the time, but I feel like some of these matches are a little bit filler. For her.
This was get Rhea on the show, get Stark
Yeah.
some exposure since she's going to be a big player. But like,
it was a good match.
it was a good match, but like the whole time I'm sitting there and I'm like, Zoe has like just at like even level of charisma. Like she needs just a bit more to really keep me interested.
Sure.
Yeah.
But she's also very new at this, as far as I know.
Yeah, very
So
new.
that she's there at that level already, at her level of experience,
Yeah.
you know, just a couple more years, a little bit more refinement. She'll
I
get
really
there.
feel because I really think she got the Apollo Crews treatment. You know, she should have been NXT just a little bit longer. You know, to kind of get over with the crowd and get that exposure, so build that excitement for the main roster. Because every time she comes out now, this crowd seems dead. I'm like, did they not watch this girl win in NXT? She's actually really amazing in the ring.
Mhm.
Okay, she's probably one of the best she's one of the best in-ring talents the women's division has right now. But yeah, I think she just needed a little more exposure.
It's a little longer than the other.
promo
Yeah.
work goes.
Yeah, because I'm
Yeah.
looking at her wiki page. She's been wrestling for about 10 years now.
Yeah.
So since she was 19. And, or 18,
Brian
19.
Danielson was wrestling for
19.
10 years. He wasn't that good until
Two of the names that stick out though is that she had a match in one of the like indie feds that with Thunder Rosa that ended in a no contest. And then back in 2020 she wrestled Tanya Valkyrie in another Federations like time. So I was like, she's had a good like roster of opponents.
there's
But-
one thing. It's one thing to be said, like we said, she's a great wrestler, but they don't teach you charisma in the indies.
They don't. She needs just a little bit more
they-
character besides just
Yeah, charisma is one of those things you just can't teach.
yeah.
Okay, either you have it or you don't.
I'm gonna say this: for all the faults we give WWE, they know how to teach people. They can actually teach people how to cut a promo.
Yeah,
Like-
they can teach promos and how to have some ring presence, but at the same time, you know, it's up to you to kind of,
For sure.
you know, kind of bring that charisma out of you. Otherwise, you just get like Lexus King,
Yeah, for sure.
you know. So
My whole thing is like that's something you don't learn on the indies because all you do is look at the camera and be like, "Hey, I'm so and so, and I'm gonna fight this guy at final battle." That's it.
God, I keep going back and I keep watching this promo from this like joke wrestling show called like $5 Wrestling. And it's this guy named Freight Train, and he's calling out Eugene, if you remember him from WWE.
Huh?
yeah,
And this
Nick
promo,
Dinsmore.
oh god, this promo is so fucking stupid because the guy sitting next to him just like starts corpsing at this guy's shit. And he's trying his hardest not to lose his shit on camera. And I'm just like, every time I hear a promo, I instantly go to that promo that he cut, and I'm like, God, I can't believe that man like held on through that promo. But
gotta imagine
yeah.
how Gene feels sometimes going through
I'm
them
gonna
promos.
send it. I'm gonna send it to you guys. It's so fucking funny. But yeah, I think Zoe needs a little bit of character work. I think she needs to figure out who her character is. She just seems like she's woman here to wrestle, much like Eddie is I am guy here to wrestle.
Yeah.
But Eddie does it in a way that's like is believable. But Zoe's like, I'm here to wrestle you tonight. Like
Eddie does it in a way where he actually hates the person across the ring from him because he doesn't know Keith Ab is a thing.
yeah, nobody told Eddie Kingston that wrestling is fake. So yeah, there's that. So I think Zoe needs to find a character and work on it.
Low key moment.
Yeah. Loki, who legitimately knocked out his opponent and then continued to try to wrestle him. God, he tries to set him up in the corner. He tries to continue the match instead of just pinning the guy and looking like a goddamn superhero. Like,
Man, listen, Loki has so many career highlights that have gone in the wrong direction.
Yeah,
that one rap he did in NXT.
I keep forgetting that Loki was actually in WWE.
Yeah,
it was Caval.
Caval.
Yeah, it was like for a brief moment in 2010, I think, because if you had blinked, you would missed it.
Yeah, I keep forgetting that he also, I think, got fired from New Japan because he wrestled in Agent 47's like suit outfit, and Inoki did not want people wrestling in street clothes. Like, he wanted you to actually have like ring gear. But Loki was like pretty last minute, like, I'm gonna put on this suit and go out there and wrestle.
Oh, that explains why John Moxley had ring gear in New Japan.
Yeah, so I think it was something like that. Like, he wants you to have like ring gear, not like not normal clothes.
Yeah.
So he was like, he did that, and I think I remember reading like Inoki was pissed off and fired him. But yeah, I mean, another win for Rhea, continuing to make her look strong. I guess Zoe looks strong. She won the Battle Royale to get to this point, so they are kind of positioning her already. So we'll have to see how. It
wasn't an expected win either. Like, because there are some hitters in that Battle Royal.
Yeah. So we'll see the slow burn, see how it goes as the years go on.
Zoe Stark's definitely a future champion, though.
Definitely.
Yeah, I think that she's gonna figure out what character is and what she is in. As soon as she gets over that hump, and she gets a little more exposure, she's gonna be a top talent.
Yeah,
but
for sure,
we'll see.
So let's talk about this men's war game match, because this was the most overbooked stuff in the best way. Like, it really was.
There was a lot going on.
You first start off with the team of Judgment Day, who have employed Drew McIntyre, and him and Damian Priest seem to be having some issues because
I like the storyline going into this of like, you're part of the people who put me on the shelf. I want to beat your ass. I like that storyline, and even though the Usos weren't together, and it was solo Sikoa because that was the stipulation they put on the match.
Yeah,
they were still in that match. They still tried to sneak in, and they got kicked out, and that's when Solo came in.
Yeah.
And walloped him, and that's truly what put him on the shelf.
Because I couldn't remember if the Usos were at Clash at the Castle or not. I couldn't remember that at all, because I was like, wait, wasn't Jay and Jimmy just not there?
Yeah.
So so they were there.
They were. As far as I can remember, they were there. They snuck in and tried to do some shit to Drew and got kicked out.
And then that's when Solo made his debut.
And that's when Solo debuted and killed Drew and put Drew on the shelf.
So there's talk about a plan from Damian Priest, who he wants Drew to remember the plan and all that. And we see that there is still no Randy Orton. It is a 4-against-5 match. And everybody's starting to feel a little uneasy. Seth is wondering if Randy's even going to show up. And Sammy's, being the reassuring friend to Jay, like he always has been. And I kind of like this Avengers of the Faces that they've put together here.
Yeah.
Like, it's just Sami Zayn, just Jey Uso, Cody, Randy, Seth. Like, everybody has their like little niche that they fill here.
Yeah, I remember a meme floating around on social media that says they could all be like a Doctor Who.
I shared that picture with it. Yeah, it was a tweet that went around, and it's like Seth in his fabulous outfit, and then Sammy in like his flannel, and Cody in like his detective like trench coat, and Jey Uso in like his normal clothes. And it's like, technically all 4 of these characters could be Doctor Who.
Yeah.
Just all that. I was like, that's actually really funny. But yeah, so this match is just wild. Like,
there's
again,
a lot going on.
This is one of those matches where I'm like, I just can't take notes for this. There's so much. There's Drew's like single-minded quest to destroy Jay.
I respect it. I respect having a hater like that.
Yeah. You have JD taking a great RKO after Randy does show up.
They basically just sacrificed JD
They-
McDonough.
JD
They
fucking died.
sacrificed him.
You had the bull rope like hitting, I think, Finn in the balls.
Mhm.
Or that or Dom. But before that, there was some tension from Seth and Cody asking if, is Randy going to be here? So really, really building up to it.
I do want to know why Randy was late though. Like, was he just smoking
Traffic.
a joint in the back or
So
something?
he's smoking a bowl in the back, probably.
Traffic.
The traffic.
Traffic.
Yeah.
Traffic.
Traffic.
So
Traffic.
when time comes for Randy to come in, there's nothing. And it just kind of lingers there for a second. And then Rhea's music hits, or the Judgment Day music hits, and she comes running down with the briefcase. And I got excited.
Yeah,
I was
did
like,
too.
this would be a great turn for all these storylines. You get the belt on Damian. Cody and Seth now hate each other again because he feels that Cody lost him the title.
Mhm.
They lose the War Games. And it's like, okay, cool. Now what happens when Randy does come back? It's like, is Cody going to be pissed at him? Is it going to turn into like a Jay Randy thing?
And then Randy just pops up.
But then
5
Randy shows
seconds
up
later.
and everybody goes fucking ecstatic. And I go ecstatic because he looks in great fucking shape.
He
He looks yoked.
you genuinely cannot tell that this man just fused parts of his back together.
Yeah.
He lost an inch in height.
Yeah, it's just the crowd goes nuts for Randy, and I went nuts for Randy. I love that Randy's back.
It's really funny because we were all like, "Oh man, Chicago's gonna boom out of the building," but it's Randy. Everyone loves Randy.
Everybody loves Randy.
Randy is at that point in his career now where everybody is just going to cheer him no matter what,
Yeah.
even if he turns heel.
Yeah,
I mean, I remember
sure.
in 2020, he was an evil ass heel. He was putting everybody in the head. But,
Yeah.
over time, everybody just say, you know what, we love Randy no matter how bad he is, how evil he can be.
Because he's just so consistent. Like,
Yeah.
he's a consistent character-wise. Anytime he's in a tag team, he makes it worthwhile. Like, he's great to watch in the ring. His matches can get a little boring because, I mean, he is just like a very classic wrestler. But
I also loved it. Oh, on top of that, also loved that whole hanging DDT everybody did.
that was cute.
That
That
was
was a nice
pretty cool.
tribute.
I don't know what he was saying, but like when Randy set up, I think Finn to do it, like he was yelling something in the crowd and like being really animated about it before he hit it, and I'm like, he looks like he's happy to be back. Like,
Yeah, he looks like he's having a good time.
and it showed that on the.
This is probably his last run.
It probably is.
So he's probably gonna just enjoy it while he can.
And I mean, that was the thing on Monday when he came out. He was clearly getting emotional before he did his pose, like on the or anything. I mean, this guy's been out for what, a year now?
Yeah.
So
18 months, a year and a half.
yeah. So I mean, the fact that he can even come back is probably a big deal for him. I would have hated having him like end his career, not on his terms or anything like that. Especially after the career he's had, it would have been tragic. So the fact that he's back is fantastic.
Good for him.
There is some teases of Randy and Jay, but they set it all aside to do the match. And we get some closure on that too on Monday, where Jay apologizes, but Randy says they're cool as long as he's not in the bloodline. So Randy's letting bygones be bygones.
Unlike Drew, which happens in that same segment later.
Yeah, he's still going to. He challenges Seth because he's like, "You made me lose. I won the rematch from Crown Jewel," and he's like, "Sorry, Jay has his title shot first," and that makes Drew pissed.
Makes him, yeah.
And yeah, the face team wins. Team Cody wins, which again is kind of weird because you have undisputed champions on the other team, and Damian Priest is the one taking the pin, not Dominic or JD. So it's
this happens all the time. Is the person who has Money in the Bank is going to take a few more pins because they can take it.
It's going to
at any one point they'll just instantly gain credibility.
It is going to be it's going to hit so crazy when Drew eventually takes the belt off Seth and then instantly loses it to Damian. Like that'd
be an interesting like triple turn.
It would just be like, okay, now McIntyre's just insane because this keeps happening to him. Like
Every faction ever.
We're getting back to the Scottish psychopath here.
yeah.
The path back.
I'm into it.
And as we were talking about before the show started, or maybe it was after we started recording, but we get a nice little, like, everybody's finishing up in the ring. You know, they're all cheering. Everybody's welcoming each other back. We got copyright logo on the bottom. Cameras fading out, and then the lights turn and Cult of Personality hits. And Chicago goes crazy. And CM Punk, with the most lifeless eyes, comes out to his home city. And I'm like, this man came crawling back from that look in his eyes.
That's that look in the eyes where you haven't slept and you have to get up for work in the morning.
Yes.
All three of us know what that is.
Yeah.
Everything. There's a lot of stuff that wasn't shown on the air, but a lot of stuff that showed up on social media. You have Seth like freaking the fuck out and like yelling at him and flipping him off and cursing at him.
It's a work.
It's a work. It's definitely a work. They have him listed as a free agent under their internal roster, apparently, so he's going to show up on every fucking show that he wants to show up on.
Hey, y'all, guess who that first feud is going to be against?
Rollins. Probably.
Obviously.
And he's probably going to lose, which I think is Triple H fucking with him at this point, honestly.
He's going to be so pissed.
It's unconfirmed, but we shared it before we started recording that apparently there's a behavior clause in his contract now.
If that's true, that's fucking hilarious.
I don't believe that. I
don't either, but if let's just for the sake of argument says it is,
sure,
I would not laugh at it.
Yeah, it has yet to be confirmed, but some MW were told by higher ups that they have a behavior clause associated with his contract, and I'm like, I would believe it, but it sounds so petty that this sounds like something Triple H would do.
Yeah. And then his promo that he came back was very similar to his AEW promo. You were gone for I don't know how long he was out from Brawl In to now.
Yeah.
But he was out for a while.
Yeah.
And then I didn't hit the same.
Yeah, like the last time we saw CM Punk, was All In London.
Yeah. He did his match against Joe.
And then there was the issue with Jack Perry, who he was also at this moment, I guess, out still.
He's wearing the devil mask.
Probably.
Twitter's I keep seeing it. I'm like, if it's not Punk, they're gonna be like, oh god, it might be Jack Perry, and I'm like, I cannot wait for the meltdown. Because fittingly, during the feud for the Four Pillars, this would fall in line with shit that MJF told him. Like, you have to, be something bigger. And I'm like, oh my god, this would be the greatest payoff. It just melt down fucking Twitter. It would be so funny.
Man, Twitter is going to have a collective shit fit the minute Jack Perry is revealed as the devil in that company.
I saw an interesting theory that it's not one person, but it's like everyone that's been speculated so far.
Yeah.
I heard at one point it might be Britt Baker also, which I don't know how I'd feel about that.
Adam Cole, come back home, goddammit.
Yeah.
Yeah, so like that's still going. But he comes back and WWE's like, first hour of Raw going to be commercial free, and everybody's like, oh sweet, we're going to get to see CM Punk. But no, CM Punk comes in at the end of hour 3 to cut a promo to really end the show. So it's like, oh, okay. And it's like
he had like a face-ish promo and then said such a heel thing of like, I'm not here to make friends, I'm here to make money.
They were saying like he hasn't wrestled in 10 years, and I'm like, oh, they're just straight up not acknowledging anything he's done in AEW. He's like, he hasn't wrestled in 10 years.
It's a smart move though, yeah, for sure.
Smart move.
I think, when asked about like with Tony Khan, like he's like, I can't legally talk about it. I bet he had to tell him, it's like, I have an NDA with AEW that I cannot talk about them, like disparagingly. Like I'm pretty sure there is like a non-disparage like clause.
And if he has an NDA, the Bucks have an NDA.
That's why Tony's like, I cannot legally talk about this.
Tony does. Yeah.
Did y'all see that report that finally came out after a fucking year? That said that Bryan Danielson was on the team that
he was a member of the disciplinary committee alongside like AEW's lawyers and other people.
I was gonna say, I want to clarify that it doesn't mean Danielson said get his ass out of here. He recommended it to Tony.
Yes.
He didn't make the decision to fire him then and there. He just recommended to Tony, hey, it is in your best interest to get rid of this guy.
I don't believe you can have a more unbiased individual on that team.
Yeah, for sure.
Daniel Bryan is the person who's like, I am looking at this from a purely wrestling business standpoint.
Yeah.
And
I really do. He's one of those people that you really need on that roster right now. AEW needs a Bryan Danielson to be in these kind of roles of leadership, because I think if that roster would just kind of take to him more, it would go in a much better direction. I think he's well respected in that locker room anyway. You know,
yeah.
He did help train Jade Cargill.
I would listen to Daniel Bryan.
Didn't do shit with her, but well, you know, AEW didn't do a damn thing with her, but obviously Danielson was trying to help her. I mean, these are people you need back there, okay? Mm-hmm. And I wish some of the younger talent, and I think the younger talent just needs to start leaning on the veterans more in AEW, and it'll start going in a different direction. But
there's got to be a balance here, right? Because we've got a little robotic with WWE, right, where everyone's kind of following the machine and just working off scripts and stuff. But on AEW, I think it's a little too loosey goosey for my taste. Of like, you know, the prisoners are in charge of the prison, so to speak.
Yeah, I think AEW needs a little more structure.
I think they need a little more structure. I think WWE needs a little less structure.
Yeah. But somebody
there's gotta be like a bounce we hit somewhere.
God, the takes I saw on Twitter, it's like, why is Tony Khan letting a wrestler dole out these decisions? And somebody's like, do you know what Undertaker used to do in WWE?
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Look up Wrestler's Court.
Look up Wrestler's Court. He did the exact same thing that Bryan Danielson did, except it was not in an official company capacity. It was
in an official company capacity, and also, if you heard about some of the shit that they did in the 90s, you would also want Undertaker as your judge.
Yeah, Undertaker was also like that kind of respect person who would just be like, you fuck up, and he just comes to you, he's like, stop. And you'd be like, you got it.
It's really funny that he got to that role, because I saw an interview where he was talking about the first time his first match in WWE was against Coco Beware.
Yeah.
And he power drop, he did this tombstone and he hit like a little too close to the mat, like almost gave Coco Beware a stinger.
Yeah.
And after the match they go to the back and Coco's just hot. And Undertaker's like, oh crap! I have heat with someone. So you know he tries to talk it out with them, and they hash it out. And he's like, stop that. So you know he learned his lesson, and that is the lesson he teaches he taught to other people.
Yeah, and on top of that, he would later readjust, you know, the tombstones. Now, so into what it was today. So yeah, I mean, Undertaker had to go through that stuff himself, but he leaned on all that experience, and that's why, you know, years later, you know, when he was like the big veteran who's been there for 20 years, everybody would just lean towards the Undertaker because of those past experiences like that.
Yeah. I think it'd be hilarious to argue with Coco Beware, his parrot, like just yelling everything back at you guys.
Probably.
It's like the parrot had to have like thrown in some thoughts in that argument. But yeah, so CM Punk comes back. People are like, oh, AEW's dead. And it's like, no, they're not. They're doing great right now. CM Punk,
fine.
If he's coming back for the money, I can respect it. But he does look like it.
Yeah, for sure.
He does look like an enormous hypocrite, especially if he was like shooting in promos on other places.
He wasn't.
But I'm just like also looking at his face and I'm seeing it. I'm like, this man is not happy to be here. Like, this man's like, God, I have to go to work. Like, it's that feeling that we all have every day. Just
all of us have that feeling.
CM Punk just rolling in, just like, fuck, I gotta go back to work now.
You can just see the lifelessness in his eyes.
I feel like it's going to be phoned in until they give him something that he can like truly enjoy. But like, part of me feels like his energy coming into that. I was like, this man is just like, I'm just here now, so I guess I might as well do this.
Yeah, because the thing is, like, to pose your question from earlier, is like, where does he fit in with this with this current roster? Obviously they're gonna have to give him his place in the main event, because he is a big draw. People will pay to see CM Punk because he still has his fan base out there.
Yeah.
But on top of that, at the same time, you kind of have to toe the line and be careful with this because you got a lot of up and comers, that are starting to get hot in WWE. I think you need to tread carefully with this because, as long as CM Punk behaves and, he's not trying to, steal somebody, stop trying to jump in front of somebody, it'll be fine. Let the things come down. Place him where he should be, but just be aware that you also have other talent that are on the rise like Damian Priest and Gunther and such.
Yeah.
Maybe put them against those guys as well.
That's what is getting me. I'm like, it's such a bloated like world championship picture now because out of your 3 titles, only one's showing up at work. So you have to focus on that one until it's like a special event occasion where, Roman will come in for a thing. Like he's supposed to be at the Royal Rumble. So I'm like, are they going to feed Punk to him at Royal Rumble? Like, is that...
No,
keep in mind,
sure, but
they have one pay-per-view in December and it's NXT. They don't have a pay-per-view all of December.
Yeah.
And then the Royal Rumble is like early January, I think. Is like early to mid.
But then it's like, do you have him win the Rumble? Like, or do you just have him there? It's like, hey, we have CM Punk back.
Listen, as long as they
late
don't put
January.
As long as they don't put him against Roman Reigns at WrestleMania, that would be fine. Because only one person, and I think this is the only person
you have to pull the Cody trigger.
It has to be Cody. They have to pull the trigger on that.
So
okay,
Cody,
you can't abandon that because Punk's back.
Cody, I know you're trying to finish a story, but this isn't becoming like a short-lived real-life series. It's becoming One Piece, my guy. You need to. It's like I need Cody Rhodes' story to be like a 5-volume manga that has a definitive like story, start to finish. I don't need it to be this thing of like, how far can I stretch this?
No, we can't stretch this any farther. Cody has to win at WrestleMania against Roman.
Wait, okay. Lex, I see it now. Cody's entire character is, I'm going to keep chasing this title.
Yes, there are other mid-carders who have made that their entire career.
I'm never going to win these titles. I'm going to be here for my entire contract chasing this title.
Mikey Whipwreck in ECW kept doing that. Eventually won.
Yes,
but then ECW folded.
With the right character, that could be like a great thing. Like, I think, like, again, going back to Chad Gable, like if Chad Gable just kept winning enough to like pursue Gunther in that title, like that win would hit so different. Because like we love Chad Gable. I think he's incredibly underappreciated in the company.
Imagine, it was like that with Ilya Dragunov in NXT when he was chasing Gunther for the NXT UK title. Yeah. And this was going on for like, what, a year or so? So when he finally won that title at that pay-per-view, I can't remember which one it was, it just delivered. The crowd went crazy. So maybe build up to a moment like that, but Cody has to go over Roman at WrestleMania. Otherwise, what are we doing here?
Yeah.
Okay, we're just going to drag this thing out with him forever.
So I'm just like, fuck, now we're throwing in this whole like new like top draw wild card into this, and I have no idea where the fuck this goes. I have no idea where he goes. I don't know like where on the Mortal Kombat totem pole he's slided into. Like, is he above Damian Priest now in terms of like their booking? Is like, it's just one of those things. I'm like, Damian Priest, I think, needs to be the guy to take it off of Seth.
Yeah.
Like, it helps his credibility if it comes off of Seth.
Or if he cashes in on Punk, that'd be fine too.
Oh, dude. Punk beats Rollins. WrestleMania celebrates. Damian Priest comes down, cashes in.
That'd be funny as shit.
The biggest face turn, or biggest heel turn, or face turn, depending on how people feel about Punk at that point in time. It's just...
Man, all I know is Twitter would collectively explode. Anything that makes, or what does it call it, X now? Anything that makes X explode, okay?
Yeah.
I'm dead naming Twitter. I don't have respect for companies.
Yeah.
Elon Musk does not deserve it.
I'm just ready for the chaos is all I'm ready for. That's all I want. I just want to see that. I want to see absolute bedlam on this Elon app, okay? As far as pro wrestling Twitter goes.
That tweet I sent you guys earlier, it popped back up on my feed again. That tweet I sent you earlier about the whole behavior clause. I'm looking at that picture of CM Punk, and that's the kind of picture it's like if they're doing like a showcase of like an indie restaurant in town, like that looks like one of the guys who would run it. He's doing like the arm pose and everything. It's like, welcome to my restaurant. And that's all I see on this Punk. Like,
WWE is not taking any good photos of Punk yet.
no.
I'm literally begging them to hire a decent photographer.
You need better renders, WWE.
Yeah.
Where's the moving graphics? What happened? Like WWE did them like very briefly after AEW started, but then AEW like stopped. Like, where are the moving graphics?
Oh yeah, the 2000s era WWE graphics.
Yeah, it's like, here's the title match, and it's like two people like setting up, like doing their pose, and then it like freeze frames. Like, I was like, God, you guys did that for like a month, and then you stopped, and it's just like, why are we here? Like,
I think they save it for a certain time.
yeah. But all in all, it's not a bad show. Like, I did feel like it was just a few matches that were like, okay, in the middle of it. But these two War Game matches did deliver.
Yeah, they were. I think both of them were very solid matches.
Yeah.
I love the format of these like double ring cage matches, whether it be Blood and Guts or War Games.
I think they can do with getting rid of the ropes for the you know.
I think they
that
need
little- that little
to.
Talking about like connecting all the ropes.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think
I
they
think
need
they
to
can do with
do.
getting rid of those ropes.
I think they need to do something to do it. Like, you can set up a change of like, hey, we're just going to extend, and you know, we just have this metal plate, which could still be used for stuff. But yeah, the back and forth ropes is just kind of like.
But see, the thing is, I think they keep that because they still have all the other matches that are not War Games.
But you need to probably set it up that it can be adjustable, like on a fly.
Yeah.
I don't. You guys have been to TV tapings. You see where they're in there and they're fixing the ropes.
Yeah, they
and
get
stuff.
that shit done
Like,
in
they
like
should do that
20,
in-
30 guys changing all those
Yeah, they get that shit done in
changing all
like
that
30
stuff out.
seconds. Like,
Yeah, exactly. What I'm saying is they can just do that again.
They
yeah.
could, yeah.
And it's just like, yeah. So I think the presentation could do some work, like with the ring setups, make it a little less awkward for those middle, like ropes and everything. But I love this match type, and I know that it's just going to get wackier and wackier. I'm actually surprised Cody Rhodes didn't moonsault off the top like he did against Wardlow.
Survivor Series has always been the multi-man matchup, pay-per-view. So I'm glad to see that continues on in the area of premium live events.
Because they haven't given us another Elimination Chamber. Like, I mean,
They're
But
doing
they are
it
in Australia.
Yeah, I think the last one was the one where Gargano and Seth jumped Austin Theory in his cell, which was, I think, earlier this year.
Yes.
Yeah.
Where they just like, he's joking Gargano and Seth opens the back and like Gargano's just, and they just jump him inside his little cell. You have the camera too, like the perfect camera set up to just see Austin Theory getting mugged.
And so basically, Dominic was the second person to get banked in the cage this year.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I'm excited to see where all this goes now. You know, you have a new Drew storyline. Where does Judgment Day go? Will Damian successfully cash in at any point? So I feel like it's to the point now, it's like, shit, we backed ourselves into a corner. Give it to Damian. Like,
Yeah.
the get out of corners free card that is Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
But I think Damian's proved his worth as somebody who deserves a title reign.
Absolutely.
I mean,
if he hasn't, who has?
Yeah, like this man has given everything for this company this year. It has been a fantastic year for Damian Priest.
He still has one of my favorite matches this year with Bad Bunny at Backlash.
It's so good. Like
it's stupid.
There's no reason for it to be that good.
It really shouldn't.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, Damian Priest has come a long way, from doing the whole split personality thing a couple years ago to where he is now. He's gonna be a champion. They're gonna get this cash in, situation. I think he cashes in at WrestleMania, maybe.
Not a champion,
but
yeah, Night of the Champions.
Yeah, he'll probably be the second person to cash in at WrestleMania behind Seth.
Yeah, I would love it if that's the change though. Seth loses to Punk. Punk has it for 5 minutes.
And then Priest just clocks him, starts
Yeah.
the match, and wins the title.
He just goes, "Oh, so that's how that feels."
Yeah.
Yeah, because he did it twice.
Yeah.
So, yeah, a good pay-per-view. Not the most, overly exciting one that we've had this year,
No.
but still a decent pay-per-view.
I'm gonna be curious as we get more premium live events that go into other countries, how those crowds react, because they haven't gotten, some of them have never gotten any kind of premium live event.
Yeah.
So it'll be very interesting to see how they react.
I think the one in France is going to be wild because I don't think WWE has gone to France that much in the whole company's history. So I think that crowd's going to be super hot to get a pay-per-view in May.
Yeah, it'd be pretty sweet. They have the London one. They have Wembley Arena, I believe. Right? They have one of the Wembleys.
Yeah.
And then we have the Australia show, I believe.
Yeah, that's Elimination Chamber. I think in February it's going to be Perth. I think Rhea Ripley main events that one.
What got me is Punk's promo about the Saudi blood money and everything, and I'm like, I hope he wasn't shooting and actually just working people, because he has to go to those shows now.
Oh yeah, twice a year.
Yeah.
It's like, hey Punk, you gotta go. Like,
It's like Crown Jewel and whatever the hell they decide to throw in Saudi Arabia. So I hope he's ready for that one.
yeah.
Yeah, no kidding.
Or maybe he just might choose to opt out like Sami Zayn did.
Well,
That's
Sami Zayn was at the last one.
Well, he was at the last two, but before he was just opting out of those things. I guess, because of his personal convictions, he didn't want to go, but I think he's all right now. So the last two, he was there.
But yeah, I got nothing else to talk about this show.
Nah, I've got nothing. I'm good.
I think I'm just getting worn out on Judgment Day. I'm like, I understand, like, it's so weird. I don't know what it is about like WWE faction storylines, but they just kind of lose me like several weeks in, where if I'm watching an AEW like faction storyline, I'm kind of hooked, but probably because I feel like they do different stuff each week. But I still kind of want to go through each week of SmackDown and Raw and how many of these main events were Judgment Day tag team versus Cody team tag team. I'm just like, I think it's just the repetition of it is just what's wearing me out about it.
Yeah.
Because how many main events can you have of Cody and Jay versus Judgment Day, Sammy and Jay versus Judgment Day?
Yeah. And that only goes so far before people do start to get tired of it. But I think with CM Punk back in the mix, you're gonna maybe see a little bit less of that. Hopefully, I don't know.
Yeah. So I just feel like
At least mix it up a little bit.
It's like, hey, we got to fill TV time, so let's just put all of our big guys up there. And it's like, we can still find a way to make it a little bit spicy, a little more interesting.
We need a little more seasoning.
Yeah, a little more seasoning. But yeah, so next for WWE is Royal Rumble, I believe.
Yes.
And then next month we have World's End for AEW. Which is going to be interesting considering that MJF is going to be wrestling with an injury. So
He's been wrestling with an injury.
we're probably going to get a Samoa Joe world title run, which would be sweet. I would actually appreciate that if they have to put MJF on the shelf a little bit.
Yeah.
Joe is a very trustworthy champion. Somebody you can put a belt on and he will deliver the product that you needed him to deliver. He did it in NXT. He did it in TNA. So it'll be great.
In Ring of Honor.
Ring of Honor. He knows business. But yeah, so we'll be back in December for World's End, and we'll be back in January for Royal Rumble. And then I think we have like one episode a month. With the exception of like every few months, I think we'll get an AEW one also. So in that meantime, we'll have more wrestling stuff on the other podcast eventually, as we talk to Haley about wrestling and her budding interest in it, seems. So yeah. Thanks everybody for watching.
Yeah,
We're getting so good at these outros. Like,
we're a well-oiled machine of
We
people
are.
who definitely need more sleep.
Follow the link.
I came straight from work into this, so I am particularly exhausted.
But we all did.
We all did.
We
That's
all
why
did.
X is in a robe. Like,
Yeah. I'm comfortable, and because it is crispy out here, and I'm comfortable now. So
I work
Yeah.
manual labor. I've been outside since 6:30 this morning. So
I actually need to get up because I've been sitting here for way too long because this is where I work.
So we're gonna go. We'll see you guys in December. Thanks all for watching. All the links are in the description as always. If you're watching this on
Follow the
Spotify,
links.
if you're watching this or listening to this on Spotify, watch it on YouTube. If you're watching on YouTube, we also have Spotify. If you're driving and you want to hear us during your lonely commute to work, we have a bunch of different ways for you to listen. So we will catch you all later and see you guys next time. Bye, everybody.
Bye.
have a good night.